You probably caught this news, Will. Mike Tyson is coming back. Mike Tyson, you ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a famous boxer. He knocked out a few guys back in the day. I remember his fights used to be an event when I was a kid. I remember at my grandparents' house, they had a big screen TV, and if Tyson was fighting, they're gonna buy that pay-per-view, and there's gonna be a crowd.
Last, like,
he had the black
seconds.
shorts on.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it was just it was a real. I mean, he was the biggest thing in the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe still is maybe there hasn't been anything bigger at heavyweight. Probably not. Anyways, he's coming back. He's like 57 years old, I believe. He's 54 years old, and he's going to fight Roy Jones Jr. on his own comeback at 51 years old. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be an exhibition match, obviously. And originally, like yesterday, I was reading a report that said they weren't going to try to knock each other out. And then, of course, I found that hard to believe. In an interview, Tyson says, I only know how to fight one way. He says, I only know how to go full force. Anybody who knows me, I don't know how to take my foot off the gas. I just know one way of fighting, and that's just what it is. So, as far as Mike's concerned, it's a real fight. And Roy Jones is no slouch. Also one of the all-time greats, though I don't think he spent as much time at heavyweight. Granted, they're close enough in size. Mm-hmm. Tyson was kind of a shorter heavyweight. Yep. So you're actually looking at 5'10" is Mike Tyson, 5'11" is Roy Jones. Mm. And Roy Jones actually has a reach advantage, 74 inches versus 71.
Oh.
Jones claims that he's got better cardio. So he says if Mike doesn't knock me out early, he's going to be in trouble. That said, the early betting line is out, and Tyson's showing as a favorite right now. Slight favorite, not a huge favorite. He's a minus 350 to the plus 275 underdog that is Roy Jones Jr. They did some nice math for us here on TMZ. If you place a $350 bet on Tyson, you'll win $100. So you're not going to double your money or anything. Now, the clips have emerged of Tyson boxing. He looks pretty good, but you can't get around the fact that he is the age that he is. And as much as I'll be watching just because of the scale of the event, I think it's important to note that, you just don't go into it expecting you're going to see a 22-year-old Mike Tyson, 25-year-old Mike Tyson. Mm-hmm. That just wouldn't even be fair to him or to anything. So you could still see something spectacular. Sure, it's not impossible. He looks like he's in shape. But let's just watch it for what it is, you know? It can be impressive in its own way.
Right.
Here's the crazy part. Here's the YouTube twist. The undercard, apparently, is going to have Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson. So just to make the event even more wild, you put a little YouTube undercard, and Nate Robinson, former NBA player and also a football player before that, apparently says he's an athlete, he's ready to go. Jake Paul, he's done the boxing matches previously, so we're all aware of how that works, and he's actually trained quite a bit and improved quite a bit.
Yep.
So I'm curious to see how that one goes, but I have seen some training clips of Nate Robinson, and he looks like he's in great shape too. So it's going to be quite interesting, a weird night in the fight world, but I think a lot of eyeballs are going to be on this thing. It's Mike Tyson. Yeah. It's Roy Jones Jr.
Coming back.
It's going to be some eyeballs. Good luck to everybody involved.